Hey guys, so I got done watching the Phoenix race a couple days ago, but I'm finally getting around to recording my race review. I know it's a few days off. I'm just trying to get the work-life balance kind of figured out. So I'm recording this Tuesday evening. You guys are going to be seeing this Wednesday at some point, so thank you guys for watching, of course. But here we go. Phoenix, the race was pretty bad. Man, Texas and Phoenix back to back. I mean, that's two pretty bad races that I feel like had really good chances to be good races, but we saw at Texas too much grip strip, as well as kind of the new layout of Texas, and now with Phoenix, I mean, I don't even know. I mean, it's really just kind of a short track problem this year, where the spoiler is just too tall to really create good racing at Phoenix. But of course, I mean, we did have a pretty exciting final restart, but other than the final restart and restarts in general on this package are really the only thing that are really of any interest to most people. Of course, we had our championship four decided, but, and I guess here's another interesting thing. Most of the top six for most of the race were the six guys that were on the outside looking in at the playoffs. Like, the six guys that weren't locked were up there so much, so it's like, realistically, I mean, you couldn't look anywhere inside the top five and basically say, like, oh, that's a guy that could spoil the party for the playoff guys. You knew a playoff guy was going to win and lock himself in, and all of a sudden we've got guys that are outside the playoffs that are still up in the top five trying to get their win to get in. And of course, it was a must-win situation for a lot of guys. So yeah, I think overall though, pretty bad race. But it definitely had some. The restarts were pretty good. But you really just, I mean, those top six, they were six of the best cars, including Hamlin, who got out front. He led most of the race and was, to be honest, the best car almost all race. And once he got out front, he was basically gone. And then, just going to kind of talk about the finish of the race, because I want to try to keep this race review a little bit more brief than some of my other ones, because I know some of my other ones drag on a little bit. But, yeah, so caution comes out with, like, it was going to set them up for, like, a 3-lap restart when John Hunter Nemechek tapped the wall ever so slightly. It wasn't even a massive problem. I don't think race control really needed to hit the wall, or needed to hit the button to throw a caution, but of course, otherwise it was going to be a Denny Hamlin dominates the race and wins the race. They, of course, as race control, probably don't look at that as the best thing for them, and of course the guy hit the wall. They had, David Reagan looked like he either ran out of fuel or had some problem that brought him to pit road right about the same time, so it's like, yeah, throw the yellow, okay. Then Hamlin's team takes 2 tires, which I thought was so going to put up with them, but then I forgot about the fact that this new package really kind of makes tires not matter anywhere near as much, and of course 3-lap restart really didn't matter either. Of course, also the fact that he had Ryan Blaney to his inside and Kyle Busch was able to get down and basically bump doors with Blaney and basically take Blaney's chance of getting by Hamlin on the inside of the racetrack away from him. That kind of played into it. Of course, we also had 2 other championship battles, or 2 other championship 4s locked in, so I'm just going to kind of go through the guys that made the championship 4 in each series. So, in the truck series, which I think is probably going to be the most interesting, well, probably the most interesting of the final 4 races, at least for me personally, because I quite like Chastain, and of course Chastain's in, Crafton's in, Moffitt's in, and Stewart-Haas, who won the truck race at Phoenix Friday night, he locked himself in there, so that was a great job for Stewart-Haas. And then we had Saturday night in the Xfinity Series. We saw, of course, the big 3 in the Xfinity Series. They weren't going to get bumped out regardless of what happened, so Custer, Reddick, and Bell are all in, as well as Justin Allgaier, who won his first race of the season at Phoenix Raceway and got himself into the Final 4. Of course, he was on the inside going into that race, so he was pretty much, basically, unless someone else won, he was going to win it. He was going to get the spot regardless of if he won the race or not. but he went out, capped off a win, and going to his bet into a track where the junior motorsports cars have been pretty good there. I mean, Byron and Reddick both won championships in that equipment, in that type of equipment there. Of course, that was in the 9 car, and now the 7 car is the one going to Homestead. Maybe he'll get some of that advantage based on the stuff. I don't really want to edit this video up, so sorry if it seems I'm rambling or if I leave some pauses in the video. I really don't want to edit right now just because time crunch and trying to get this video out as soon as possible. I might even try and get this out tonight if I can, but it'll be a bit late, so I'll probably end up just scheduling it for tomorrow morning. So, yeah. But in the Cup race, of course, that final restart, 3 laps to go, and I kind of hinted at it earlier. Denny Hamlin joins Kyle Busch and the 2 winners from earlier in the round, as Denny Hamlin got the win and knocked Logano out of the playoffs. So it was Truex, Harvick, Kyle Busch, and Denny Hamlin that will go for the championship in the Cup Series race this coming Sunday night, or Sunday day into night, I think it technically is. But yeah, so Denny Hamlin won the race. Kyle Busch ran second and basically helped Denny get that win. Of course, I don't know how much that was him not really getting a shot after kind of bumping doors and kind of dragging Blaney back, or how much that was Joe Gibbs intentionally telling Kyle Busch, like, hey, help Denny out, especially after seeing Denny kind of give up the primary, like the prime pole sitter pit stall last year at Homestead to help Kyle Busch try and win the championship, which he didn't capitalize on. So, of course, we saw Denny win the pole last year as well at Homestead, so we could potentially see Denny Hamlin kind of run away with this one. And I think he's probably the favorite to win the championship at this point. I mean, and it's kind of also keeping the pattern of the last 3 years where it's like 3 guys who have a championship and X driver. 2017 it was Martin Truex Jr. He got the championship. Last year, of course, it was Logano that got the championship when Truex, Harvick, and Kyle Busch were the others going for the championship. Now it's Denny Hamlin's the odd one out that doesn't have a championship. Could he round it out with a championship this week? Of course, Kyle Busch second, third Ryan Blaney, fourth Larson, fifth Harvick, sixth Martin Truex Jr. And that's all 6 of those guys were playoff contenders. Joey Logano, he was leading the race. I think he won the first stage if I'm remembering correctly, and then his team took out like the most valuable half-pound of air in a tire I think I've ever seen, because that's supposedly the only thing they changed on the car, and he fell like a rock from first all the way down to the back, and it's like, okay, that half-pound of air was important. And they ended up running 9th the rest of the race, kind of on the tail end of the lead lap, so that was really kind of an unfortunate incident. And then, of course, Chase Elliott late in the race spun out and backed it into the wall. Chase Elliott, I mean, kind of like Aaron Jones earlier this year. I mean, Elliott had his 3 worst races of his season all in one round of the playoffs, which, of course, that right there eliminates you having your 3 worst races of the year. Well, unless your worst race is still a top 10, which for some guys maybe it is, but I don't think so. I think everybody's been involved in a wreck at some point in the season. But yeah, so we're going on to Homestead though, Championship 4. If you guys want my pick, I think Hamlin's probably got this. Even though I'm a Kyle Busch fan, I want to see Busch win another championship, but personally, and I know a lot of people are going to agree with me, that Kyle Busch probably isn't the favorite, and a lot of people probably don't want Kyle to win this one, because, of course, I know a lot of people don't like Kyle, especially a lot of people that watch my videos don't like Kyle, so Truex, I just think, sure, his team's been on it, but I just think the momentum for Hamlin plus the motivation of his first championship is really going to put him on the front line. Plus, I think he's been deserving one since 2010 when he choked that one up. And I think this race at Phoenix kind of proved that he was capable of driving at a championship level. I mean, he pretty much gave it away at Texas last week, and he brought it back and got the win that got him to Homestead this time. And now he's got a shot at the championship. I think he can very much pull this one back. Of course, Kevin Harvick, I mean, he won at Texas, but I just think his team's been way too highest of highs and lowest of lows, way too inconsistent, not really any kind of consistency in the season. I mean, he won New Hampshire, had a bad race, then won. He had 2-3 wins, and then of course he's won the most recent mile and a half, but that was a bottom-feeding race. Homestead, I'm still expecting that race is going to be against the wall, so Harvick, I'm not really too confident in his ability to go out and win a championship at Homestead again here. I mean, he kind of got lucky with the kind of the field he was racing against being not the strongest field around. Because if we're honest, the 2014 Championship 4 was not your most competitive 4 guys. Newman I don't think deserved to really be there, but he was able to put Larson in the wall to get there in 2014, so I think that's kind of why Harvick was able to get his championship. He just got lucky with who he was racing, and he was better than them at Homestead, but I think Hamlin's probably the best of these 4 at Homestead, and he will probably be your championship contender. But I'd like to know what you guys think. Feel free to leave comments down below on who you guys think is going to win the championship of those 4. And do you guys think Larson's still going to dominate the race? Because Larson's dominated pretty much every race in Homestead, in his Homestead career. But I think, though, the big thing that needs to be talked about, though, after this race is they need to change that package for Phoenix, especially if Phoenix is going to be the championship race next year. I mean, I'm not on the petition of changing the race. I think Phoenix can be a good racetrack. Just maybe cut the spoiler in half. Literally, take the Flex Tape commercial and be like, we saw this spoiler in half. And just kind of half the size of it. I think not necessarily down to the size that it was in 2018, but maybe 2016-ish, 2017-ish height of the spoiler. I think that would be fine. And I don't think it would hurt the racing too much to adjust the short track package to try and allow for less turbulence, because the same thing that creates the drafting the drafting and the packs at Michigan, at Kansas, at Homestead probably, and at Daytona and Talladega is the same thing that makes it hard to pass at a short track. So you either need to go with a universal package, which we've had for years, with the 2018 package, 2017 package, 2016 package, 2015 package. For the longest time, we really didn't have any differences, and now they're starting to kind of differ the cars for each racetrack. I think they absolutely should also differ the height of the spoiler at the short tracks to try and create better racing, because the same thing that creates better racing on these mile and a half, because the mile and a half have been some of the best racing all year, is the same thing that is hurting these short tracks. But yeah, that's just kind of my opinion on it, though. Feel free to leave your opinion down below in the comments section, but I know a lot of people's kind of pick for the championship, Elliott, is out now, so but Homestead's going to be a good race. It's one of the mile and a half that this package was designed for, so I'll see you guys. Probably won't have another video up until after Homestead, so hopefully you guys enjoy. I know I've missed quite a bit of news, but I just feel like I'm not the right guy to kind of cover the news that's been going on, because a lot of it's kind of outside my field of depth. But really excited to see Kyle in the 24 hours, in the Rolex 24 hours. But again, I don't feel like I'm qualified enough to talk about those racing series, just because I don't know enough about the background and the history of those racing series that the news came out about this week. So Kurt Busch is back at Ganassi, I guess. That's the one news story that I can talk about. But thank you guys for watching. I'm not going to drag this video on any longer. Thank you guys for watching, and check out the links in the description to support the channel, like the video, subscribe if you guys are new, and I'll see you guys next video. Bye!